Welcome to the Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments Lesson 8. In Lesson 7, you learned the major and minor triads built on the tonic, dominant, and subdominant degrees of the scale, and why a dominant triad is always major. You also learned the UMT tip for adding accidentals to triads with the accidental triad salute, top, bottom, middle. In Lesson 8, you'll learn how to use the innovative UMT symbols to make adding rest to rhythm questions easy. In Basic Rudiments, we'll be learning simple time signatures. Plus, you'll learn when a whole rest fills a whole measure and when it doesn't. In simple time, the top number is 2, 3, or 4. The top number indicates how many beats or pulses per measure. The pulse is where the rhythmic emphasis falls in a measure. A pulse can be strong, weak, or medium. If the top number is 2, the pulse is strong, weak. If it's 3, the pulse is strong, weak, weak. 4, the pulse is strong, weak, medium, weak. In simple time, the bottom number is 2, 4, or 8. The bottom number indicates what kind of note equals 1 beat. If the bottom number is 2, a half note equals 1 beat. If the bottom number is 4, a quarter note equals 1 count. Or 8, an eighth note equals 1 count. This is called the basic beat. One of the questions students often struggle with is how to add rest to complete a measure of rhythm. So here's a teaching tip. Using the innovative UMT symbols of the plus sign and the tilde sign. Now here's the rest rules. The plus sign indicates to join the strong plus weak or the medium plus weak pulses into one rest. The tilde sign indicates to not join the weak tilde weak or weak tilde medium pulses. These must use 2 separate rests. Now this makes it easy to understand when combining rests. Let's begin with the example in 4/4 time. In 4/4 time, the basic beat is 4 quarter notes. The pulse is strong, weak, medium, weak. We use an uppercase letter for strong and a lowercase letter for weak. When completing a question by adding rests, the first thing we want to teach is to write the basic beat below each measure. So 4 quarter notes below each measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then add the pulse of strong, weak, medium, weak. The scoop is just a visual aid in a representation of 1 beat. Join the scoops together when the note value or the rest value is combined. Always complete 1 beat at a time and always begin with what you have. The end of the measure is a half note, so we're going to cross off beat 3 and beat 4. The pulse indicates a strong plus weak, so we add the plus sign and then we're going to add a half rest to complete the measure. We then cross off strong and then weak. In the next one, we notice beat 1 has got a strong beat, so he's complete. And we're going to now look at the pulse. Weak cannot be combined to a medium, so we add the tilde sign between the weak and the medium. The weak has to stand alone, so we're going to add 1 quarter rest and then cross off the basic beat. A medium can be combined with the weak, so we add the plus sign. Medium plus weak is equal to 1 half rest. And then we cross off the beat, medium, weak. In the last measure, we see the strong is complete and beat 4 weak is complete. The pulse is strong, weak, medium, weak. The weak cannot be combined with the medium, so we add the tilde sign. This has to be completed with 2 separate quarter rests. We then cross off beat 2 and beat 3. In 3/4 time, the pulse is strong, weak, weak. In the first measure, we always start with what we have, and we have 1/8 note. And so we need to add an 8th rest to complete beat 3. Then we look at the pulse, and the pulse is strong, weak. We can combine the pulse into 1 half rest. add the plus sign, then cross off beats 1 and 2. In the next measure, we see that beat 1 is complete. The pulse is strong, weak, weak. So we add the tilde sign to the weak, weak, and they need to be completed with 2 separate rests, 2 quarter rests. Cross off beat 2 and cross off beat 3. When teaching using this simple method of always writing the plus sign when joining the strong plus weak or medium plus weak, and the tilde sign when not joining the weak tilde medium or weak tilde weak, your students will see how easily this applies to all time signatures. Now here's a bonus tip for teaching the whole rest. A whole rest fills a complete measure with silence. However, there are 2 exceptions to the rule when it doesn't fill a whole measure. In 3/2 time, a whole rest receives 3 beats of silence, and it's used for a whole measure. However, in 3/2 time, a whole rest receives 2 beats of silence for beats 1 and 2, strong plus weak, when a half note value is on beat 3. In 4/2 time, a whole rest receives 2 beats of silence for strong plus weak or medium plus weak beats. And a brev rest fills the whole measure with silence. In our 8th Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments lesson, you learned how to use the UMT symbols of the plus sign and the tilde sign when adding rest to complete a measure of rhythm in simple time. Plus, you learned the whole rest rules. In our next video, Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments Lesson 9, you'll learn how to quickly identify the key of a melody as major or minor, even if the final note of the melody is not the tonic note. Plus, we'll cover the UMT guide and how to use it and why we need it. Remind students to study all their flashcards, because in the next video, we'll have a bonus tip on how to play a fun game called Reveal. Till next time, teach with passion.